This is a review of the 1971 Sears TLS 35mm camera, a model which was made for Sears by Ricoh back in the late 60s and early 70s.
I'm going to go over the controls of the camera, talk about its history and my history with it, a little bit about my likes and dislikes, and finally I'll show you some pictures I've taken with the camera.
We're going to start off on the top plate right side where you're going to find the film advance lever, the frame counter window, and the shutter release button. And on the left side, you're going to find the film rewind lever. Moving to the front plate right side, you're going to find a dial where you set the film speed as well as the shutter speed on the camera. After that, you find a lever where you set the self timer. It's actually missing on this camera. And on the front plate left side, you have the exposure meter switch. And around the side, you have the flash synchronization terminals. There's really nothing interesting to see on the back plate. While the camera does not have a note holder on the back plate, it does have an indicator around the rewind lever where you can keep track of whether the camera is empty or has color film in it or black and white. So that's kind of nice. Viewed from the bottom left to right, you see the film rewind button, the depth of field preview switch, the tripod socket, and the battery compartment door. Looking in the viewfinder straight ahead, you see the focusing screens, and to the right, a needle inside a bracket, which is the meter readout. When the needle is horizontal in the center, it is indicating proper exposure. When the needle is pointed up, it is indicating overexposure, and down is underexposure. Besides the Sears TLS, this Ricoh camera was sold by 3 other names.
When you pick up this camera, you realize right away that it is from the late 60s, early 70s, because it's like picking up a solid chunk of metal, number one. Number two, it's all mechanical shutter, nothing automated on the camera. It's also very simple. Looking at the top plate, it's literally film advance, shutter button, and rewind lever. That's it. That's the whole top plate. On the front, you literally have one dial, right? A dial that allows you to set the film and the shutter speed. And then, of course, across the bottom, you have the depth of field preview button. And the meter is over here. It's just, there's nothing fancy. And as I pointed out earlier, when you look in the viewfinder, just the meter, that's it, right? It's such a simple camera. It's got everything you need and nothing you don't. And it's, let's see, it's a 71, so 80, 90, 2000, 2010. This is 50 years old, all right? It's ridiculously old, but guess what? It still works. All the shutter speeds work. It's incredible.
A couple other things I really appreciate about the camera is the SR, which is recessed into the pentaprism and looks sort of like an atom, which is pretty cool. And also the Sears is a metal plate and stuck to the body. And also the lens cap is made of metal and has that same SR emblem on it. And it's the only 35mm camera I have that has a metal lens cap, so that's very unique. And of all my 35mm cameras, this camera has the largest meter activation button. It's actually a lever you slide up for on and down for off.
This camera is also special to me because this is the camera that I used when I was taking Mr. Schaefer's Intro to Photography class in high school. So it's got a lot of great memories, and hopefully I'll be able to find some of the pictures I took with it in that class and put them at the end of this video.
This picture was taken of me and my sister riding a little Honda 50 mini bike back in the early 70s. And this picture I took with the camera of my uncle's farm around, late 70s, early 80s. And this is a picture of my dog about the same time that I took.
Thanks for watching my video, and if you liked it, hit the like button and think about subscribing. Also, if you have some ideas for other cameras you'd like me to review, leave some comments down below. Thanks again.